Assalamu alaikum. We have Qasim Rashid with us, who's the official spokesperson for the US Jamaat. Assalamu alaikum, Qasim.
Salam.
How are you doing today?
I'm great, alhamdulillah. How are you?
I'm alright, thank you. So I've just caught you before the beginning of the final session.
Yeah.
And obviously you want to get this, I'm going to drop you there.
Awesome.
But at the same time, I thought I'd use that as an opportunity to have a little chat with you, if that's okay.
I'd love to, that'd be great.
So, other than being the spokesperson for the Jamaat, you're also, for the US Jamaat, you also have quite a significant social media presence. You're always popping up on my Facebook with an interesting post. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Sure. You know, I use social media as a means to convey the message of Islam, to really address many of the social ills that we see in society. So whether it's racism, whether it's, you know, violence against women, whether it's poverty, you know, Islam and our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, have offered such beautiful and practical solutions. And so I see social media as a vehicle to demonstrate to the world how we can overcome these challenges. And in fact, our beloved Hazur, Khalif al-Masih, may Allah strengthen his hands, has given us this instruction that this is the proper use of social media, and that's how I try to apply it, with a side of dad jokes here and there.
And I always look for the comments, and it's full of debate.
Yeah.
And you're often replying to those comments as well. How have you found that it's helped you sort of create a dialogue with non-Ahmadis?
Well, I think it's been very positive. I mean, I try to engage in dialogue. The Quran says to argue in the way that is best, so I refrain from any kind of vulgarity or name calling, because I think that's beneath any Ahmadi Muslim. But I try to really appeal to people's intellect. One of the best compliments I get is that you made me think. And this is what the Quran commands us, right? To contemplate and think and ponder. So, you know, I see these comments as a blessing, where we can advance this message of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, of the Promised Messiah, alayhi salam. And you know, in my years, many of those dialogues have turned into friendships, and some of those friendships have turned into new members of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community as well.
And talking of new members of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, I was speaking to somebody just before I got you on my buggy, and he said that he began talking to you, and that sort of sparked his interest in Ahmadiyyat. I think it was also an initiative you...
yeah, so I think you're talking about Mirko. He's a Sicilian Ahmadi Muslim, and he's a professor of linguistics in Iceland. And what's interesting is that what actually triggered his interest in Islam was some of the anti-Muslim rhetoric out of the US political campaign. And as a result, he began to do his own research. He came across the True Islam Education Campaign. You can check it out at trueislam.com, and really learned that many of the views that he has on life and on equality, Islam actually already teaches. And so for him, it was less about the theory, and he wanted to see, is there a community of Muslims out there actually demonstrating what Islam teaches and what the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught. And he found that in Ahmadiyyat, and by the grace of Allah, he signed the bayat earlier this year, and he's here at this Jalsa Salana.
Yeah, and it was amazing to hear. I was talking to him, and he was telling me about it's his first Jalsa and his experience, and he said he was controlling the tears, and then it got to bed, and the tears just all came out. And I think that's something we can relate to as Ahmadis, as you know, born Ahmadis as well. That is a very emotional experience for us.
It is very powerful. You know, you reflect over all your weaknesses, and you reflect over how gracious Allah has been to you. You reflect over the blessing of Khilafat. You know, I've said this before, but you know, Khilafat is a priceless gem that we can never truly understand how just valuable this is for us. I mean, it's really our salvation. It's our unity. It's what protects us from harm. And when you look at the state of so many of our Muslim sisters and brothers of Sunni and Shia background, and just how much suffering they're going through, we have to remember that if it wasn't for Khilafat, we'd be experiencing the same kind of suffering. And we should take it upon ourselves to end that suffering by providing food, by providing aid, by providing health care. And I think going back to Mirko, I think that's what really motivated him to join the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, because he saw that it is because of Khilafat, it is because of Ahmadiyyat, that we're providing aid to our sisters who are suffering in Yemen and in Gaza, and to our brothers and sisters who are suffering in Rohingya. I mean, that is what went through my mind during the International Bayat ceremony, that Allah gives us the ability and the strength and the power and the resources to really end this suffering, not just for our fellow Muslims, but for all humanity, because that is the purpose of a Muslim, to make life better for all of our fellow human beings.
And inshallah, you know, we'll all get the chance to fulfill those wishes. And it's been lovely talking to you.
Likewise.
And I'm conscious that the third session is on its way now, so I do need to get you out to the main guy. It's been lovely talking to you, Qasim. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Jazakallah.